It is finally here. 10 days of giveaways event. Chapter 54 is loading, and I am in the giving mood. Here are the mechanics of the get down for the giveaway for the birthday. Tune into my new YouTube channel at the BS Boss. Listen and learn what the giveaway is for that day. And if it's something that you may be interested in having for yourself, be sure to like and share, tag or mention 3 friends, and comment why you should win. At least one winner will be chosen daily. And the giveaway runs until my actual birthday, which is August the 10th, 2024. Remember, it's your BS. Own it. Okay, so today is day 6 of 10 days of giveaways. I'm super excited as we're continuing to trek along this pathway. I'm having the time of my life loading chapter 54 and giving things away, giving gifts away. And so today's gift is coming from the Lakeshia Williams, businesswoman extraordinaire, best-selling author, award-winning publisher. She is giving away 1 hour business consulting session. A 1 hour business consulting session. You want to get in on that so you know what to do in order to be able to participate and put your name in the hat. And that's going to be important because today we are talking about adding value. Adding value. So, I add value to the lives of others. I can't help but think about when I was thinking about adding value and why it is so important that we add value to others, that we um, show up every day, not just thinking about ourselves and what we can get, but what we can give and how we can serve humanity, right? How we can serve humanity. And I'm thinking about the affirmation, affirming that I add value to the lives of others. In everything I do, I add value to the life of all those around me. Is it your heart's desire, your passion to leave spaces and places and people better than when you found them? Or are we leaving chaos and destruction behind every place that we are? Something for us to consider. Through everything I do, every decision I make, and every choice I select, I enrich the lives of every person who comes into contact with me. I choose. There we go again. I choose. I take ownership. I choose to add value. I choose to add positives to the lives of others. I acknowledge that every human has a responsibility in how they interact with others. We must take charge of our relationships. And I vow to bring as much joy as I can to others. I understand that love and patience are central to everything I do, everything I feel, think, and am. I see my place in the wider scheme of things. I am worthy of love. I deserve to be valued, respected, and appreciated. I deserve happiness and success. I deserve to be in places and spaces where I am celebrated and not merely tolerated. I am happy. I am loved. I choose to share this love and happiness with others. I see my power and I own it. I enrich lives, build confidence, and strengthen bonds. I show others the intrinsic value they hold within them, and I celebrate all that they are. Through my actions, others others can live their best lives. I have the power to change lives all around me. I see the small things others do for me and am grateful. I take this gratitude and pass it forward with good turns. I am worthy of love. Today, I acknowledge my value. I know that I am worth love, positivity, and blessings. I add value to those around me. And thinking about that affirmation, some questions raise up to the surface for me, and something to consider today as you're thinking about how you add value and you adding value to the spaces that you show up in today. How are you helping a loved one today? Or have you even helped a loved one today? How have you taken care of your own well being and happiness? What qualities do you have to help others? Because you do have them. Trust and believe. You got breath in your body. God doesn't make junk. You have giftings and talents and skills and abilities and personality. You add value to others. I couldn't help but think about Matthew chapter 25 and the parable of the gifts or the talents. In the New Living Translation, it talks about the silver and how there was a master of the house who was leaving on a long journey. And let me just read it. Matthew 25, starting at verse 14. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. 15, he gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. He then left on his trip. So, just like us, each of us has abilities and capacity, and we're given those abilities in proportion, right, to who we are. And so, verse 16, the servant who received the 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earned 5 more, adding value. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more, adding value. But the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. Verse 19, after a long time, their master returned from his trip and called them to give an account of how they used his money, how they used the gifts and the talents and the abilities that they were given. How did they add value? Verse 20, the servant to whom he had entrusted the 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more. Verse 21, the master was full of praise. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together. Remember, I talk about festivities, right? And celebrating wins, all wins, small wins, big wins. It's biblical. It's a biblical principle. It works. I'm telling you. Verse 22, the servant who had received the 2 bags of silver came forward and said, Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more. I have added value. I have taken what you have given and multiply it. Verse 23, the master said, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Here we go again, party time. Cue the music. Let's celebrate together. Verse 24. Then the servant with the one bag of silver came and said, Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you didn't cultivate. For 25, I was afraid I would lose your money. Mm. So I hid it in the earth. Look, here is your money back. Now I'm going to sit here for a minute. I was afraid I was going to lose your money. So I hid it in the earth. Look, here is your money back. Here, this individual was afraid to use his gifts and talents, his God given gifts and talents. So he hid them. I talk about believing, I talk about creating and manifesting. Believing that we have God given talents and abilities and capacities is step one. Creating a sustainable and actionable plan for success, a success blueprint, is number two, right? But manifesting is taking that action, because creating something and not manifesting it is like hiding it. It's having the giftings and putting them in the earth, not using them, keeping them to ourselves. The manifestation is putting them on display. The manifestation is using them to help others, right? So this man took what he had out of fear of losing, hid it in the earth, and just gave God back what God gave him. No bueno. Verse 26. But the master replied, You wicked and lazy servant, if you knew I harvested crops I didn't plant and gathered crops I didn't cultivate, 27, why didn't you deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it. He didn't even add value. God said to him, You didn't even add value. You didn't even you hid it in the earth, in the ground, where it wasn't even going to grow anything. If you had put it in the bank, even the bank would have taken what you had given them and added interest, added some value. You see how important adding value is? Verse 28. Then the master ordered to the one with the talent, Take the money from this servant and give it to the one with 10 bags of silver. 29, to those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, those who believe but don't create and don't manifest. Because if we have breath in our body, we've got something. It's right here. We have gifts and talents. Even what little they have will be taken away. Verse 30, now throw this useless servant into outer darkness where there's no value here, right? This person walked the planet and didn't add any value, didn't help anybody else, didn't encourage anyone else to live their best life. The space that they occupied, they didn't leave it better than when they found it. And what little that individual had was given to the one that had the most, multiplied the most, added the what? I hear you coming from the back, sitting over in the corner in the right, that added value, added the most value. Today, think about how you're showing up. Tomorrow, think about how you're going to show up. Adding value to spaces where you are. You're worthy. Acknowledge your value. Know the positivity that you bring. Know the gifts and the talents that you bring to the table. I need you to show up and add value. Because we see right here in this parable that those of us that use our giftings and talents, that even more will be given. because we can be trusted with it. Because the more that we have is the more that we can give and the greater impact we can make and the more value we bring to the spaces in which we show up. Own it. Own your value. Show up and make a difference today. Remember, if this is something that you would like to win for yourself, like and share, tag or mention 3 friends, and comment why you should win. At least one winner will be chosen daily, and the giveaway runs until August 10, 2024. Winners will be announced nightly. Thank you for listening, and thank you for entering.